What's good, Foodie Nation? Listen, y'all are back in the mix. You already know it's the Yes Cooking Show right here on YouTube on Double ETV, where I'm gonna tell you and teach you how to eat good, taste good, and feel good. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna keep these recipes nice and simple. So today, I'm doing what I prefer to call soul food. So when I say soul food, a lot of people think mac and cheese, collard greens, fried chicken. That's not when I say soul food. I like to say that every culture has their version of soul food. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans and Islanders, they got jerk chicken. Italians have pasta. Today, we're gonna be doing a little bit of Asian persuasion soul food, and we gonna cook a little fried rice. I ain't gonna wok, but we gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? So today we're gonna do a nice surf and turf fried rice with some crispy pork belly and some garlic butter king crab. Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
All right. So first thing first, we're gonna start with our vegetables, which you don't need a lot of vegetables for this dish in particular. And like I said, this is a very quick and easy dish. We're gonna be in and out today, y'all. It's crazy. When I bought these green onions yesterday, they was all green. It ain't take no time to waste my money. Let me throwing away cents right now. It's just wasting my cents. So as y'all see, if it ain't green and vibrant no more, all you gotta do is peel it back. I'm gonna peel it back and I'm gonna take off some of these ends. I'm gonna take off the majority of the tops of these ends. Um, but I'm just going ahead and peeling back any of these deformed looking parts of the green onion. And then from there, once I get, and it's usually that last little outer leaf. So once I get all of those peeled off, then I come through, do the same with the top. Just get that, not deformed, but the part that's not so fresh no more, get that trimmed off the top. And then I do the same, come line up the bottom and cut off the root. So for me, you'll learn that I cut very close to the stem. Like a lot of people would have cut way higher, but I like to keep a lot of the whites because for me personally, I cook with this part of the green onion and then I garnish with this part of the green onion. So the more green, super green part is going to be less oniony and bittery. And then this is going to give you more of a strong onion flavor. So again, in kitchens, we normally tend to cook with your wider part, and then when you see the sprinkle on top is more the lesser aggressive onion portion of the green onion, right? So I'm going to go ahead and separate these, cut them up and get them separated because we're going to saute the white part into the rice with some garlic and some ginger just to give it that real deep flavor of umami, right? And then, like I said, we're going to save the tops just for garnish. So I'm going to keep chopping that and put that aside. So again, here we have our cooking green onions. And we'll come back here and do our garnished green onions. And what I'll show you just for, since we got time, and I say we ain't got nothing better to do but sit here and learn, right? So a lot of times what we do is cut it at a bias to give it a lot more definition. So I'm going to do it that way so y'all can see the difference in how pretty, probably can't see that one solo, probably do the other angle, how pretty your bias green onions look as opposed to just cutting it in circles like the other part. So those are the simple things that you can do to bring a difference in always thinking about the final presentation, right? You want your food to look as good as it tastes. That's my guarantee. I tell people, they be like, ooh, it look good. I be like, it tastes better. Promise you, every time. Yes, sir. All right, so we're just gonna get the rest of these chopped up. And now that I've shown you, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it as a bundle. Always making sure you keep those fingers curled back. And there we are. I ain't even about to lie to y'all. Chose to be a little lazy today. So we got some pre-minced garlic and some pureed ginger. If you got the time and energy to peel some ginger and garlic and chop it up, go for it. I wasn't feeling it today. Judge your mama, not me. Okay? And these are definitely convenient for their own uses. Obviously, I do prefer fresh garlic. It definitely has a more of a pungent taste than this minced garlic. Um, but I just feel as though, like I said, when it comes to sometimes saving time, those are very good things to have, so that you don't always have to take the time to chop those things up. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and do, because I feel like I'm thinking about when you go to a little hibachi place and the boy got to like it ain't nothing to have the rice and not have no hibachi veggies, right? So we're gonna do a few hibachi veggies as well. So we just have a red pepper for color, a zucchini, and a squash. Gonna give this a quick rinse. Take the top and the bottom off. And by all means, cut these how you like to cut them. But I'm going to show you a trick that we use in fine dining to just make things seem a little bit more fancy than they are. So the most average person would either do a full circle or they would cut it in half and do a half moon. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to do an oblique cut. Okay? And all that means is you're going to take your knife, put it in there, and this is going to be your first cut. Your first cut is going to be making that triangle pretty much at 90-degree angle. And from there, you just want to finish finding that angle. So my next cut made me another 90 degree. And now what I'm going to start to do is rotate the product as well. So 90 degree, 90 degree, and don't overcomplicate it. It's easier than it seems. The thing about oblique is that they're not going to be uniform, but they're all going to have a very unique shape that has a few points and edges to it. So I'm going to show you again. Start with your 90-degree angle. So get your knife. And, for those who might have failed that class, I probably did too, I ain't gonna lie. That's the one that's like, you know what I'm saying? All right, so get your 90-degree angle and slice. Turn your product, again, slice. And that's it. Again, don't overthink it. They're not all going to look the same, but they're all going to be beautifully and wonderfully made like Jesus made us. Yes, sir, differently, but all uniquely and beautifully made. All right. So there is our zucchini. Next, we're going to go and do our squash. And fun fact, y'all know I love my foodie facts. So today's foodie fact is both zucchini and squash are both considered squash. So they are both in the same family. So depending on what store you go to, you'll actually, if you read it, and I know some of you have probably already seen it, and you're like, huh? Zucchini will be listed as green squash, and yellow squash will be listed as yellow squash. And that is not a mistake. That is not a typo. That is because both are technically squash. Just, let's just call them cousins. Like, cuzzo, you heard me? Like, you got the same lineage. Just a little, it's a little small differences. All right. So coming through finishing. So this squash is a little different when you're doing the oblique cut, just because it's not as regular of a shape as zucchini is the whole way around. But again, nothing changes. Rotate 90 degree. Rotate 90 degree. When it comes to that last part, I just kind of cut it in half. That way it's not too big. And now we have our yellow squash and our zucchini, aka green squash. Next, we have a red pepper. Next foodie fact of today. Did you guys know that there is only one pepper? So when a farmer plants seeds for peppers, for bell peppers, they don't plant a green pepper, a yellow pepper, or orange bell pepper seed. They only plant one seed. Why is that, you ask, Chef Kurt? Well, because many different fruits, if you watch and pay attention as you walk through the store, it's just a progression of how long they've been on the vine. So if you really start to pay attention now, or if you're ever just looking at plants, it starts off green. As it matures and stays on there longer, it goes from orange to yellow to red. So technically, a red bell pepper is the oldest form of a bell pepper. A yellow and an orange would be a medium, so like a teenager, we'll say. And then your green are your babies. So again, just a little foodie fact for you today. Nothing too crazy. So I'm just keeping those in pretty good sizes that are gonna be close to the same size of the zucchini and squash, so that it's the same good bite. All right. So this is a huge red onion, so I'm gonna only use about half of it. Take the top off. Cut it in half. Peel back your first layer or so. And again, I'm going to keep this on par with the other vegetables. So I'm going to do a nice large cut. So we're just going to come down probably just 3 times. So 1, 2, third time being to cut off the root. Turn it back around and come down with it. And just like that, we're all done. Actually, that's that boy from Louisiana. I ain't trying to get copyright sued. So just like that, we're finished. That's it. That's all. All right, so we're gonna get these veggies put aside, and from here, honestly, y'all, like I said, this recipe is super quick and easy. I actually already went ahead and pre-cooked my rice because whenever you're making fried rice, it's always best done with leftover rice, and it don't have to be like, oh my god, I don't like leftover food, day old food. You can cook your rice earlier, but you want your rice to be cooked and cooled. So I have some rice that's been cooked and cooled and to the side. This has been the most and majority of the mise en place prep that we need for in terms of veggies. So we're gonna get that pan sizzling nice and hot so we can get that wrist work action in. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So next, we're about to get this pork belly rendered down. Y'all know what that is from the last video when I did what them Brussels sprouts and I taught y'all how to render, right? I'll give you a couple seconds. What's rendering? What's that? Oh, you said to release the bacon. When you cook a bacon or something and you want to get the fat out of it so you can reserve the fat and use it later, but also keep the meat. You got it right. Ding, ding, ding. Winner. I knew y'all was smarter than you look. I'm just messing. So here we have some pork belly, right? And I'm going to do it in there like that so you can see it. Do it like that so you can see it. And essentially, pork belly, for those who don't know, again, always hitting y'all with them foodie facts. So pork belly is what bacon is made of. But pork belly, whenever somebody refers to it as pork belly, we do that because 9 times out of 10, it is the thicker version of bacon. So bacon is made from pork belly, but it's cured, smoked, and then cut paper thin. Even if you get the thick bacon, it still is no more than that thick, right? So this is literally pork or bacon just in large chunks, as some would call largoons, right? So we're just going to start by getting these in the pan so that they can get nice and rendered down. We can get that fat out of there, and we're going to use that same fat to do all of the cooking. Use that same grease to use all of the cooking between frying our rice, frying our veggies, and then we're just and also just allowing us to crisp up the bacon so that when we eat in the rice, we get that nice crunchy but meaty bite of pork. So that's how you know you're making some progress. When that mug starts shooting back at you, starting to do a little cooking. So still not brown enough to really mess with it too much. Just making sure that all parts are touching the pan so that we get a good even browning. So while our pork is rendering down, we're just going to go ahead and get our eggs cracked for the, you can't have fried rice without some scrambled eggs in that mug. So I prefer a lot of eggs. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm cracking 6 just so I know I'm going to make enough rice to share with my peep, you know what I'm saying, with the homies. But use as many eggs as you like. All right. So we're just going to take our eggs. As y'all know, we season all levels of everything. So it don't got to be a lot. Don't season it like it's a chicken. But we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of salt in the eggs, as well as some yes sir, like I said, just a pinch. And scramble that on up. I'm backing up because this pan got me again. Mug ain't playing with me. Oh God. This is where I wish I had one of those screens. I need to get one of those little screens. Oh God, it's shooting. All right, so the eggs are scrambled or are beat well, y'all. So while our pork belly, aka legumes, are on the back, continuing to render and get all that fat out while they get nice and crispy and golden brown, we're gonna go ahead and cook up our eggs. So we got us a nice non-stick pan here, and I would definitely suggest for this recipe you buy you a new non-stick pan. Oh Lord. So this is self-explanatory. Everybody should know how to scramble some eggs. You know what I'm saying? So just keep moving it around. Keep moving it around. I'm actually, without thinking about it, cooking it like an omelet. So this is how we cook an omelet, which I'll show you that one day. You just move it around from the edge, let the new part come up, let it form up, move it around, move it around. Look at that. I'm giving y'all a 2-for-1 recipe today. All right. So, and then once, for the most part, all the liquid is no longer runny. You want to make sure that it's not running, that it's cooked really well. All you want to do is make sure it's not sticking to the pan. Get that mug a nice little flip. You saw that? If you blinked, you missed it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my eye off. And just break it up now. Like I said, I just want to give y'all a little quick 2-for-1 how to make an omelet. But we really making scrambled eggs. So come through here and break it up so that we can later get this incorporated into our fried rice. Man, bacon popping. Forget being stabbed in the back. You ever been shot in the back by some pork fat? Jesus. So let's bring you back around. You're dying for attention. You're dying for attention. So here's what I'm actually going to do. Because I see over here it's actually doing exactly what I want to do, and it's kind of sticking together. I'm just going to flip that so y'all can see how beautiful golden brown it's getting. And I'm actually not at all mad that it's kind of sticking together. I ain't about to hold you. Making it a little easier. Oh, Jesus. All right. Come through. Give this a flip. Man, you know how you supposed to love, sometimes you gotta love people from a distance? Oh, God. That's me right now with this pork belly. Cooking this thing from a distance. Because, my God, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. But dang. Trying to take me out. Sheesh. I'm a real thug, though. I ain't going to flinch or nothing. I ain't going to jump. I'm a thug. Ah. All right. So, for the most part, I got them all flipped over. So, perfect. So, you guys can see the golden brown and how beautiful. Like I said, it looks like how you like your bacon to look, but it's way thicker. It's way meatier. So that's exactly what we are going for. And at this point, it's not going to be too much longer before we can take this pork belly out and start getting our veggies sauteed. My God. And the rice. Oh God. All right. That's enough for you. That's enough. That's enough. So we're gonna get our Lord Jesus. We just gonna get our crispy pork belly out of the pan. And I feel like some of y'all are judging me right now. I feel you're judging me. Again, judging mama. Cause I don't care, like ain't no worse pain than get popped by some bacon fat. It's like the bacon be trying to tell you, don't eat me. You know you ain't supposed to be eating me. But listen, bacon gonna get ate today. All right, so let me first just do a little quick wipe down. Lord, bacon fat everywhere. And I just can't help but sample a little bit of fresh, crispy pork belly. Y'all, y'all hear that? Nice and crispy. Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna hit it with a little bit of seasoning. Again, not a lot, but just always making sure that you're seasoning every level of your food. And some salt. All right, put this back here with the rest of our mise en place. So we can't do surf and turf without some king crab or some shrimp. And I had a little king crab sitting around, so I went ahead and bust that out. We already took care of our pork belly, so now we're gonna focus on our crab. So I went ahead and bust down the majority of it. I left one leg just to show you guys how to break it down. So there's always that nice chunk of meat. Don't ever forget that guy. And whenever you get it from Sam's or some places, they're gonna slice it for you to make it a lot easier because it can be really spiny. So you just want to go ahead and break off each segment. And I'll be honest with y'all. I like to call this Prince Crab because this ain't Kenyan. I'm used to King Crab out. You know what I'm saying? But you got to go with what you can go with. Like I said, I'm in the middle of the country. The fact that I can get any crab, um, I'm thankful at this point. So you want to come through, pull it out. Every piece is going to have one or two of these ligaments that you have to pull out, or you're going to be tasting. So there's the second one. 1, 2. Or you're going to, as soon as you bite it, you're not going to be able to bite into it and get the whole luxurious piece of meat. So just pulling that back. Again, it's pretty helpful that they split it in half for you. Just remember to pull out your Your ligament, I think it's one more in there. I can't remember if I grabbed it. I think I did. So we're gonna keep this one nice and whole for presentation. But we have about 2 pounds of uh crab meat here. If you like that imitation crab meat, that's what you do in your house. It's what you do in your house. But over here, I like real crab meat. There's nothing like it. Sweet, salty, luxuriousness. So for our garlic butter king crab, first we're gonna go ahead and get our stick of. I like to use salted butter down into the pan with a couple tablespoons of garlic. And already immediately that smell is just crazy. So want to get that butter melted and that garlic sauteed. And we're going to go ahead and toss in our luxurious king crab meat. Get this all spread around. Butter melting, garlic in there. Season it just a little bit. Because again, what do? We season every layer. All right. Ooh, I'm excited. Like I can stop the whole thing right here. I love king crab, y'all. I could put it into it right now and be happy. So while my seasoning does have parsley in it, I just want to add a little bit more parsley, just for a little bit more color, just to let it stand out, let it pop. Man, oh man. I don't know if all this meat gonna make it to the rice. So that's really that. Just want to get it warmed up, seasoned up, tossed in that delicious garlic butter. And we're gonna set this to the side until it's time to assemble our fried rice. I got a sample though. I gotta make sure it's good for y'all. Mm, mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's all right, right there. That's all right. Mm-hmm. All right. So next we're gonna go ahead and get our hibachi veg cooked down, sauce it up. So we're gonna come in here with some of that pork fat from our pork belly. And next, for the true authentic flavor of uh, Asian persuasion, you can't do that really without some sesame oil. And sesame oil is a peculiar taste. I'm sure many of you all watch Food Network and a lot of times see when they put it in something, they be like, oh my God, there's too much sesame oil in here. I think it's still a good flavor. You just got to be mindful of how much you put in there. We are going to go down with our zucchini, our bell peppers, our onions, and our squash. You want to have your heat on high. Saute is means when you cook it on high heat quickly. So you want to have it as high as possible. Gonna come through and go ahead and start seasoning it up with some salt, some of that yes seasoning. Gonna go ahead and hit it with some minced garlic. As you'll see, I like a lot of garlic. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep them vamps away. Got to keep them vamps at bay. So some fresh chopped garlic, and then some fresh ginger. And it don't matter if you peeled it and minced it or if somebody did it at the factory. It's fresh. All right. So it's gonna get us a little twirly twirl. Yes, sir. Y'all, this smells amazing. Amazing. Like, my God. Yes, sir. So as you see, we're starting to get a nice brown and some color and some char on there. That's exactly what you want. So just keep moving it around. And listen, don't be intimidated. If you can't do the shaky thing, it's all right. That's just my natural. To me, it's quicker and more efficient just to get in here. And, you know what I'm saying? All right. All right, so while our veggies are finishing up in the back, we're going to go ahead and get started for the base of our rice, the aromatic base. So that's just going to be the green onions, the garlic, the ginger, all the stuff that smells great. That's what aromatic means. Aromatics are just those things that bring flavor, but the aroma illuminates the air. So we're going to come in with the pretty much generous amount, the remaining of our pork fat, as well as, like I said, some sesame oil for the authenticity of making this thing taste like it's from Asia. You know what I'm saying? We always want to make sure that whenever we're cooking different cultures, that we're using the ingredients that they use. So not just using the vegetable or canola oil, but really using the essence of what they use to get you that really close, similar taste to what they have. So first, we're coming in with our green onions. Again, these are the green onion whites. So they're a little tougher and they cook a lot better than the green tops. So we're gonna add those in with our garlic. Again, can't never have too much garlic, as well as our minced ginger. And get all this incorporated in. So you only need to cook this down for like a minute before we start adding in our rice. So now that we've given our aromatics a minute or so to cook down, we're going to go ahead and come in with our pre-cooked rice and get the frying process started. All right. So as always, as you see, just want to make sure that you get a clean, clear, even, flat space across your pan, across your cooking surface to make sure that everything is getting even and even heat. And I'm telling you, the aromatic, the smell of the garlic and the ginger and the onion alone, that's already good. So with fried rice, you essentially just want to give it a minute or so to cook and then move it around. You don't want it to get too brown, but you do want to give it a chance to start to get a little bit of toastiness on the rice. I am going to go ahead and add in the eggs. I do personally like to add in a little bit of vegetables, just peas and carrots, nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those in right now. Like I said, not too much. And as you see, little parts right there, the rice is browning up really nicely. That's exactly what we want. And as you can see now, man, once you get the vegetables in there, you start to get the orange from the carrot, the peas, the yellow from the egg. It just starts to look so pretty. It's my favorite part once everything starts to come together. So at this part is where I'm going to start to season the actual fried rice. So we're going to come through with just a little bit of seasoning. I'm not going to hit it too much because when I cooked my rice, I actually cooked it with a little bit of chicken bouillon. So it's not going to, it doesn't need a ton of extra flavor in there. But we are going to hit it with some of my seasoning. I didn't do salt because we're coming through with some soy sauce. So I always like to use less sodium soy sauce because it gets tough and tricky when you're cooking and when you add in soy. And sometimes if it's the regular soy, it makes things automatically too salty. So coming in with some less sodium soy. And that is normally what gives you the color that you're accustomed to seeing. Makes your rice a little brown. Not too much, not too much. All right. Give this thing a little sample, see where we at. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I want. All right, so now that we got our rice nice and fried up, deliciously good, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and add in some of our meats. So we have our crispy pork belly that we rendered down earlier. Same with the garlic butter crab. We're gonna put a good bit in there, but save our nice presentation pieces. I see some big chunks in there that I want to save for the top. But the rest of this goodness going inside. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that garlic butter in there too. Yes, sir. All right. So next, you just want to incorporate your meats like such. Woo-wee! Yes, sir. We are reaching that point to where it's just like, my God, look at that crab. I don't know about y'all, my mouth getting wet. You heard me? My mouth getting wet. Yes, sir. That means it's about time to eat. All right, so we're just gonna come through. All right, and scoop our. Oh my God! Look at that chunk of shrimp. I mean, crab in that mug. Sheesh! You can just see the mounds of pork belly and egg, and I mean, y'all, my mouth is so wet, bro. I'm telling you, I'm ready to get into this. So we're not gonna pile it up too crazy. You're gonna do it right there because I also do have some of our veggies here. So we're just gonna take some of our hibachi sauteed veggies. Pile them up on either side. Making sure we got those colors popping. The oranges, the yellows, the reds. All right. Gonna come through with the last finishing few pieces of pork belly to go around. Some luxurious king crab meat. some of our green onions that we put aside for garnish. So yeah, we back, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Cooking with Chef Kirk. Nah, I was playing with y'all. So we back on the Yes live cooking show. We got that surf and turf fried rice with king butter, garlic, crab, and crispy pork belly. Y'all, I can't wait to get into this and sample this and let y'all know what we did and how it came together. So let's, without further ado, y'all, my mouth's so wet. I don't know where to start. I just know that big piece of crab on top about to get it. So I want to make sure I got enough rice in here. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. And let's get this piece of crab. I know, but y'all ain't about to burn up my taste buds, top of my roof of my mouth. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't even describe it. It's just so good. Listen, the amount of money y'all spending at the hibachi restaurant, well, you can get this flavor right here at home, 10 times better, half the price. I'm telling you, this fried rice is fire. Veggies are delicious. Still got some bite to them. Seasoned well. You taste the bacon fat, but you also taste the aromatics of the ginger and the garlic. Delicious. Mm. All right, let me stop. So again, appreciate y'all Foodie Nation for tapping in with me. You know what I'm saying? We finished this awesome recipe together. If there's anything that you would like to see in the future, leave it in the comments. Tell me how you like this recipe. Tell me something else that you would love for me to show you how to do. If you have not gone online to cookingwithchefkurt.com, grab you your bottle of Yes seasoning. You're gonna need it for the next recipe. And just like that, we out of here. I love y'all, Foodie Nation.
Yo, YBA.